Football is back, ladies and gentlemen, which now means it's time to get your team's football shirt. But I'm not trying to pay £120 for a football shirt. I'm just saying. But I have found the solution for myself and for you, the lovely audience of the Don Husam channel, with your own coupon promo code. And this is the solution, ladies and gentlemen. All you've got to do is just go to okjersey.com. As you guys can see, all the options are there. Of course, I'm a Liverpool fan, you guys already know. And then this is the shirt. Look how amazing it looks. I'm just gonna go pick my size, and then after that I'm gonna choose the Premier League patch. And listen, I'm too old to be putting any player names on the back, so I'm just gonna get it as it is. I'm gonna click add to cart, view cart. And this is the same thing that you guys do on any website. You proceed to checkout, you fill in all your information, and then after that, coupon code Husam. When you click this coupon code, you get a 8% discount. Enjoy shopping, guys. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Make sure you guys are liking the video. Make sure you guys are subscribing to the channel if you're ready to do so. This is one of your favorite streams. You get me? Husam X Thomas Little, ladies and gentlemen. It's me. It's Thomas. You get me? And we're here to just chop it up, to speak about Liverpool Football Club. I want to say what is wrong at Liverpool. How do we get out of this mess? How do we fix it? You get me? And there's no one to speak to better than Bob the Builder himself. You get me? How are you doing, Tom?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. I don't know what Mike's issue is with me.
Oh, Mike has been on to you. He messaged me immediately today when I was streaming with you earlier on.
What did you say?
Tom waffling so much. I'm gonna have to go live again. I'm just so fucking over people calling out players and not slot. They all didn't magically become shit. We changed the way we played.
That's everything I say, though, Mike. Just because I don't explicitly say, by the way, the manager's at fault. When I'm saying that it's a problem that we've got our fullback so deep, that's a tactical problem. That's something on the manager. I thought that you just understand that I'm saying that. It's obvious that any tactical problem is on the manager. The fact that we can't build up is on the manager because he wants to play plays in certain ways which don't work. I don't know why. The only player that I'm consistently calling out is Kanate, because Kanate is making individual errors that the manager's not. The manager can't control. But fullbacks, the way we set up the midfield, the lack of progression, that's as much on the manager as it is on, the lack of ability to certain players. I just didn't think I had to call out every time I was mentioning an issue, though. I thought it would just be common knowledge, but fair enough. Now I know. He's gone. Brilliant. Is it? I mean, Ash, I can't be blaming it all on Kanate because he's going. Because he's not going. He's getting a new deal. We're rewarding him with a new deal. Could you believe it? The manager needs to go back to basics and give the players their natural freedom. But then you just wasted fucking 300 million quid because you can't play players. There's a solution to what you need to do. It's a pretty simple solution for what we need to do, in all honesty, which we'll get into on this show. But it's about trusting certain players. Do I think Wolfie looks like Ange? Fuck's sake. So I did see.
Suddenly you can't speak on a stream. I've got to be here and just fucking.
I was laughing at the comment about Wolfie looking like Ange.
Yeah, he does a little bit. I went to fill up my water bottle and I forgot my water bottle. I'm gonna go get my water bottle. Wait.
Brilliant. So again, we're back to this. This is twice now, people. The solution is simple. Stop trying to control possession, play to our strength, which is transition, and compact the build-up. But then that got found out last year. The second half of last year, we struggled a lot more. We needed to adapt. I've got no problem with us wanting to hold more of the ball. We are still a threat once we get going attacking-wise. The issue is we can't get it into the attack. It's not about the one thing I don't think I've ever called out in this like run of games that this season is, my God, our attack is shit, because it's not. The problem is we're not getting the ball to the attack. If we were getting the ball to the attack and the attack was missing everything, it'd be an entirely different thing. But the problem right now is we are not getting the balls to the attack because right back, left back, and DM can't pass the balls to the attack. The DM needs to run with it. The left back refuses to pass. The right back can't pass. The right centre back can't pass. So what you need to do is grab one of your DMs, ideally McAllister or Jones, chuck him at the back alongside the two centre backs to form a back three in possession where you have two of them comfortable on the ball. You then tell your wing backs to go up the pitch so they are not involved in the first phase, because not only does pushing the wing backs up mean they're not going to put us into shit situations because of their inability to pass, it's also going to push the opposition wingers back because the opposition wingers can't leave them, especially if you've got Jones or McAllister and Van Dijk there, because by creating that back three, you put Van Dijk in the middle, which gives you the most chance to spray the balls out wide to the fullbacks in space if the wingers haven't tracked them. That then bypasses the first line of press, which is the part we struggle with. Once we bypass the first line of the press, with both fullbacks in advanced positions, your DM pushing forwards because you can, because you've got Jones and McAllister, Van Dijk, Canate as your back three. That's cover. The fullbacks can push up, get involved with the attack. All of a sudden, you've got six or seven players attacking, and you've completely bypassed your progression problem because you've pushed everyone back to create the space. We can't progress because we can't handle the press. So you force the press wide, and then the space creates itself, and players that can't progress the ball now suddenly can. It's simple, really.
I want to address this. Big up to Authentic Cars. Says we need a line-breaking passer. Why Wirtz getting the ball so deep? If you say Mecca, you haven't watched footy. Look at 2024 stats compared to Wharton. What do you think of this?
I was saying what we needed in the summer, Husam. I've been on Wharton. I was sitting there going, I really want us to get Adam Wharton this summer because that was the one thing this team needed. I know what Gravenberch brings you, but what we need is a player who can pick up the ball and bang with the pass, bang with the pass, bang with the pass. Someone on his back, pass it out. Someone on his back, pass up. Two people pressing him, lay off, pass. That's what we need. That's what we need at this point in time. And Wharton's the perfect guy for it. And if all the stuff there about how, it costs 65 million quid this summer, you do that deal in January. You do a fucking pre-agreement on that deal in January. Because that fixes an awful lot of problems. Getting a guy like Adam Wharton in fixes an awful lot of problems.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you're now starting to see it.
You don't think that McAllister fixing his form will help?
McAllister fixing his form helps to a degree, but it's not the long-term fix. McAllister can... It's like if I'm building a house, I could get a handyman to do the plumbing. He can do it, but it's a waste of him. It's serviceable. It will do. But I'd rather get the plumber in who specialises in that, sets it up perfectly. McAllister, if we need to do someone who is a tempo controller, line breaker, he can do it, but he's not great at it. He's not perfect at it. It's not his strong suit in his game. Adam Wharton, that is Adam Wharton's game. Tempo control, line breaking. That's what we need. And you can still keep McAllister then, because what getting Adam Wharton does is it allows you to flexibly rotate systems. So we can do a 4-2-3-1 with Wharton and Gravenberch. And then in games where we need to change it up, we can go for a 4-3-3, which puts McAllister as the 8. And you're fine. Mm-hmm. I know McAllister isn't good at this because we saw it for an entire year under Jurgen Klopp when he was at the DM. Saw it for an entire year. It's not a strong suit.
Okay, I see that people in the chat want us to bring on Mike Das. If you want Mike Das, comment number 1 in the chat right now. I'll send him the link if you want him.
People just want me and Mike Das to argue about fucking ball progression for 20 minutes. That's all it is.
You've argued about way less important topics. Put one in the chat if you want me to bring Mike Das here. Okay. Now, I'm not asking for any money. I just want you to vote with the like button. We have 320 people in here. Thank you guys for supporting us, even on a Thursday night, on days we don't even usually stream at this time. Just get me to 150 likes, 50%, and I'll bring Mike Das on right now. I'll send him the link. We're currently at 70 likes with 320 people in here. 150 likes, I'll send the link to Mike. There you go. There you are. Message me, Mike, because I had like 300 million WhatsApp messages. Message me and I'll bring you on, just so I can get you to the top. Big up everyone who's saying done for the like button. Here's my response to authentic cards. I don't think it's an individual error. I do agree that it's systematic, but I think it would be real false of us to claim that if McAllister wasn't in better form, that the ball progression problem wouldn't have solved itself almost to an extent. That's the thing for me. Because McAllister is the connector. McAllister is the connectivity between defense and attack. 120 likes. We're 30 likes away. Close the live chat. Like the video now. 150 likes. I bring on Mike. So that's my thing. Like, ball progression from a systematic structural perspective is an issue. I agree with anyone who makes that claim. I won't even disagree with it. I won't say any of you are chatting shit. I won't disagree with any of you. My simple issue is the following. The fact that we haven't really, seen McAllister at his best. That's the issue.
We haven't, but we can't just sit there and wait to see McAllister at his best, if you get me. We've got to deal with the fact that we need to figure it out. We've got to deal with the fact that right now he's not his best. And it doesn't help us if he is on the pitch at this point in time. So for us, ultimately, it's a case of how do we adapt and get around that point. And to adapt and get around that point, at the minute, Curtis Jones needs to play. And I think you're starting to see that. I'm not saying Curtis Jones is fucking Andrea Pirlo. But Curtis Jones is the only guy that we've got at the minute who isn't in shit form, who can do the job that we need of somewhat tempo control, of somewhat passing. Because we both know Szoboszlai and Gravenberch don't do that. As much as I love Szoboszlai and Gravenberch, that's not them. It's like asking a fish to fucking climb a tree. Not going to work. That's not what they do. They're not tempo controllers like that. So I need a guy who does it like that. And for me, if this is how we're going to do it tactically, it's got to be done that way. It's got to be done that way. Where you've got Curtis Jones as the almost left centre back in build-up.
Bro, that's the thing. Like, I understand where you're coming from, and I think Mike now joining us will make this even more interesting conversation. But my problem is, like, I'm watching this team and I'm like, how are Galatasaray closer to scoring the second than us scoring the first? Like, I just wanted the Galatasaray goalkeeper, big up, by the way, to Authentic Cards. I wanted the Galatasaray goalkeeper to just make one save where I sit there and I go like, oh my God, what a save he has made today. Oh, fucking hell, these guys, honestly. I just don't even know what to say. Anyway, your friend is here. We're not even at 150 likes. I could keep him in the background till you get 150, but I'm not going to be petty. You get me? So... Can we put a price on not torturing Jenny today? Okay. No, we can't, unfortunately, because the people have spoken. This is a democracy. And the man with the mustache, the legend himself, is in the building. You get me? How you doing, Mike, mate?
Big up, Ed. Big up, Ed. Big up Jenny, too. Big up, Ed.
Clearly, Ed loves you, him and Jenny.
Big up Ed, and big up Jenny. Listen, I don't care what you guys have. I don't care what your opinion is of me. Big up to both of you. You guys are big supporters of the channel. So sorry that Husam can't accommodate your money to boot me off the show. Also, it's nothing. Don't try to start up some sort of ruffling between me and Tom. It's just banter. All right, it's just banter.
No. You're not gonna pussy out of this. I hate when people pussy out of beef.
Listen.
Don't pussy out of beef. I'm gonna be here in the middle between you both.
Here.
What you're not gonna do First of all, both of you fix your angles so you're sat normally. Mike
I'm
is
currently
fixed.
I'm currently setting up a tactics board because I get the feeling that this is where
No,
today's gonna go.
Just move it a little bit to the left, Tom.
I can set up
Yeah,
a tactics
great.
board too.
Just sit there in that area, like in the middle. That's number one. Don't be calling out Tom in my messages, and then I send you the link, and all of a sudden you're like, "Oh, what beef? What beef?"
Okay,
Keep the same energy you kept earlier.
This is what I'm going to say. I think that anyone who is pointing out individual errors is ignoring the root cause of the individual error. You can point to Konate, and we can all say he gave away the ball to Victor Osimhen, and Osimhen went in on goal, and Allison had to drop down, and Allison got hurt, and that's because of Ibrahima Konate. Yes, this could be true, but also I can look at what was my possession like for the 10 minutes before Konate received that ball. Why was it that there was no one except going backwards within 20 yards of Konate?
Because it was
Why
off
did
corner.
we? Regardless, I'm just using Konate as one small example. Yes, I'm sure that you can pick apart it, but it's the same thing as Wirtz. Like when people say Wirtz isn't being creative yet, he's created 21 chances. Okay, how can that be true? How could I possibly be sitting here and looking at Florian Wirtz and his gelling of the team being the problem? There's no way that Florian Wirtz entering this side is the reason why we are unable to create from sustained possession, because we were unable to create from sustained possession without Florian Wirtz last year. Everything that I'm seeing in these first 10 games in terms of how poor we look is identical in the root cause to the end of last season. And I went through the results last year. I reminded myself of what each game was, bar the 4-0 to Tottenham in the Carabao Cup, the 5-1 to Tottenham in the league that won the league. I won't count anything after that Tottenham game. There was the 1-0 to Everton where we looked like shit the whole time. There was the 2-2 to Everton where to be honest with you, we probably didn't even deserve to draw that game. We were not the better side. There was the 2-1 to Wolves. There was the 2-1 to Southampton, and the list goes on and on and on. It's the same problem. So I'm not going to sit here and look at individual players. I'm not going to call out Kirkes or Frimpong or Wirtz or Isak or Ekitike when there's nothing new. There is no new problem with the addition of these players. It's the same problem that we had before them. It's just that they haven't fixed the problem that was already there. That's the difference between. And I guess when I tuned in, you were hyper focusing on Alexis McAllister not being up to speed. You were focusing on Kirkes not being up to speed. You were focusing on Konate not being up to speed. And I just think that like we're past the point at looking at players. It doesn't make any sense. It isn't constructive. The way we play is slow. It's complacent. It's lethargic, and it's identical to the issues that we had at the end of last season. That's the main differentiating factor between me and you in terms of analyzing the game.
I understand the issues that were there last season, and there was one game where we fixed them. Arsenal at home. That first
season?
Last season, because the problems were there last season. We haven't fixed anything this season. We've been shit this season, but last season the problems were starting to become a bit apparent, and there was one game we fixed them. It was Arsenal at home, the second or third to last home game of the season.
Like the 2-2 draw?
The 2-2 draw. Before before the rat came on and everything went sour because the fans didn't want him on the pitch. That 60 minutes we played him off the park, and we done it by not involving the fullbacks in build-up. If you remember that game, what we had was, I'll pull up a tactics board in a minute to show you, but you had Van Dijk and Konate going dead wide on goal kicks and in build-up, with both pivots dropping in very narrow and sitting there. And what you do is you basically form the four, which could all link with each other, draw a press out, and the out ball every time was to the fullback, whether it was Robertson or Bradley that game. And what are those two very good at? Carrying the ball. So you'd bring the press on with players who are press resistant in their own ways, in Jones, in Gravenberch, and then the moment one of them two, or your centre back who's starting wider, gets it into a fullback once you've beaten the press, You've taken 4 or 5 out the game, and you've got 2 of your strongest runners driving you forwards with an entire front 4 waiting. Your entire front 4 was waiting at that point because you weren't dragging your 10 to help out with build-up because you were bringing the press out. We are not drawing presses out against us well enough because we're trying to keep the fullbacks there, and the fullbacks get the ball, and then they freeze.
But Tom, here's where I'm going to disagree a little bit. I think that we're not drawing the press because teams last season, Brighton, Southampton, Everton, they realized that the effective way to press against Liverpool is to just it's not to literally press the ball carrier. It's not to press Virgil van Dijk. It's not to press Konate. It's to take up the lanes of which they're trying to go by because they know that no one's gonna drop back, receive the ball, and break the lines themselves. Yeah, sure, Gravenberch might on a transition play. But for the most part in that Galatasaray game, what I saw was you had Virgil, you had Konate, you had Kirkes, and you had whoever dropped deep to come receive it. And then you had 5 Galatasaray players on the halfway line, and then you had the rest of our team behind them. You don't have to press us in those scenarios because they're not going to try to. The last time McAllister tried to play a ball through 3 defenders, and I ended up scoring at the other end of the pitch. To me, the issue right now is that we're so spread out that teams are realizing I don't have to press Virgil. He can stand on the ball and he can wait there all he wants. I don't have to come at you because I know that someone's just going to drop deep. You're going to pass it to them. And we're just going to recycle this all game long because the front 4 are sitting at the edge of our 18-yard box, not moving, standing dead still, waiting for the game to come to them. And it's the same thing that I saw last season. I have a screenshot right now of us getting to the 18-yard box of Galatasaray. I see Hugo Ekitike. I see Hugo Ekitike is in the box, passing the ball back. Cody Gakpo's in an offside position. Curtis Jones is standing dead still. Milos Kirkes is standing dead still. Frimpong standing dead still. Wirtz waiting to receive it, and there's 8 Galatasaray players inside the box. How is that supposed to break down a team? How is that supposed to be effective attacking tactics? And that's what I see from us in possession. Other teams are just.
I saw your streamer. You're talking about vagina ball, and Konate.
Okay, I'm kind of memeing there, but like there is a point to it. Like we have 4, and we have 4.
That's the Van Dijk all the time, and blah blah blah.
Yeah, ping pong. That's why we had 593 passes. 590 of those were between Mamadashvili, Virgil van Dijk, and Ibrahima Konate, because we're so spread thin. Like I don't understand how Slot's trying to play. I don't understand how we're trying to progress from our half to their half. In the first half, in the first 15 minutes, we were playing direct football to Frimpong, and Frimpong was getting to the byline, and he was having success. Yeah, sure, it was Madueke, Doku settings. He was getting to the byline. He was crossing the ball into dangerous area.
Success is a strong word to what Frimpong was having.
Well, you know what? In that game, what he was doing, based on what we did in terms of output, would be defined as success. Maybe to another game, you would say it wasn't. But how we were playing, that was the only thing that I could look to and say, that's where our danger was coming from. And then we just stopped doing it after we conceded that penalty.
So again, this is going to sound a bit counterintuitive. The more I think about our attack, because I get what you're saying with the attack, the more I think about our attack, the more I think that there's 2 players that can't really play together, at least for the time being.
Wirtz and McAllister?
No. Wirtz and Ekitike.
Yeah.
I feel like you have to set it up where if Hugo's your guy up top, Szoboszlai has to be the 10 behind him. If Wirtz is your 10, Isak has to be the guy up top. You put Ekitike and Wirtz on the same pitch, they're in the same spot.
Yeah,
they're in the same spot. And Wirtz is always the one giving it
that
up.
That first half against Atletico was the best half of football we played. And I went and I looked at the formation. And to be honest with you, nothing in that game shocked me because I was looking at it and it's kind of a lot of what have been mentioned over the last 3, 4, 5 games. Yeah, this was the lineup against Atletico: Alisson, Frimpong, Konate, Van Dijk, Robertson, Gravenberch, Szoboszlai, Wirtz, Gakpo, Salah, and Isak. I think Wirtz and Isak combined unbelievably well that game. Frimpong is the best right back to play next to Salah, best one, because he's the one that gives him the most depth in terms of width options. I think one of Soboslai or McAllister needs to hold bench. It can't be both of them being shoehorned into the same
McAllister.
team. Yes, no problem. I have no problem with it. And at the end of the day, that was the best 45 minutes of football we've played straight up. That was Wirtz and Isak being the most dangerous duo on the pitch. That was both of them combining really well. That was when we created chances. As a matter of fact, that's when Salah had space as well. Everything was clicking.
Okay, so people can I do think that there is a little bit of an element of recency bias because the last 2 games have been so poor. I don't think that these last 2 games have been as poor as the first 7. I don't think that we were great, but at least we were creating opportunities. In the second half of the Crystal Palace game, it could have been 4-0, but that's why you employ Alisson, because Alisson is the best one-on-one goalkeeper.
The second half of the Crystal Palace game, we were having a lot of joy breaking them down.
100%. But that's also because they decided to sort of lower their energy. They sat back a little bit deeper, and we were creating chance after chance. Florian Wirtz could have put that away. Mohamed Salah had an opportunity. So we have been able to, in games where we've been exceptionally poor, we've been able to turn it around. My issue is that we didn't have to start exceptionally poor. We didn't have to start this way. I think that Szoboszlai and Gravenberch are our only double pivot that we can play right now. I think Szoboszlai and Gravenberch have to be the 2 8s, no matter what, 2 6s. I don't care what you call them. Those are our 2 midfielders at the current moment. And to me, if all of this could be solved, if you want to play possession, control football, I'm fine with it. But you have to be more compact. There can't be so much space in between.
Szoboszlai, Gravenberch,
There is no control.
midfield.
People have the concept that we have play control football. We don't.
But Arnie okay. This is what Arnie's trying to do. In my opinion, I think that he deliberately tries to slow the game down for fitness reasons. Especially when I listen to him talk, he talks about fitness all the time. What's one way to mitigate injury?
He doesn't want us to burn out again.
Yeah, exactly. He wants to slow the game down. He wants there to be periods of dullness. I get that. But the issue that I have is that if you want to do this, dullness, slow, PSG light
you've got
style,
to dominate the dullness.
Yes, but the way to do that is to compact yourself and create triangles. What I'm seeing right now is that we're doing that, but we're not compacting and we're not creating triangles. The only other way to do that would be to kick it long to either corner and then have either Mohamed Salah or Cody Gakpo isolate one-on-one. Cody Gakpo ignores every single overlap that Milos Kerkez gives him, and he cuts in and he does the same thing every time. And Salah just doesn't have the pace to get in behind and isolate himself on a 1v1 anymore. So it's we're caught between 2 minds, and I don't want to give up so much just to try to mitigate injuries when I feel that if we went harder for the first 45, we could kill games off early because we have the firepower to do that.
I look at us, right, and I
don't know what you're doing in the background, Tom.
What?
The lineup thing that you're doing, because it shows up.
You can bring that up at any point.
You want me to bring it up now, or still setting it up?
I mean, it's set up now, so we can bring it up at any point. We can just run through it because I think this is the best way for us to all talk about it.
Mike was doing the same thing. I was watching his stream as well. I was like a proud dad watching his stream.
Because I think it's easier if we're all just looking at this. I've just done a Chelsea lineup, and this is how I think Liverpool needs to set up.
Can you just zoom in one bit? Just zoom in one more.
I don't think I can zoom in.
It doesn't zoom like that. I mean, you could try to control scroll wheel, but I think that's all you can do.
Never mind. Okay,
so
go ahead.
I'm sure people can see anyway. So my problem with it, imagine this is Szoboszlai for a second. Szoboszlai and Gravenberch are both carriers. They need to carry the ball to progress the ball. Now the problem that we run into there is teams will almost go, okay, we'll stay touch tight on them too. They'll go out wide to deal with the fullbacks, and you'll almost see these two compact the space, and everyone will push up like that and try and cover that, because you'll always end up with 2-on-1 there. These two then can't receive the ball, and if they do receive the ball, they get crowded out straight away and can't turn and run. That's why I think, personally, the way to fix that problem is by having one of your midfielders, I've put Jones in this case just because he's in better form, be a carrier, have him drop into the back line like some, and have your fullbacks step out of the first phase and into the second phase like so. Because what then happens is they can't cover all three of them. They can't, which then means you're always going to have the man advantage there. But they've also got to cover this guy there. So either a DM steps in, which then space, which anyone can exploit, or space, which anyone can exploit. And because you push your fullbacks beyond the first line, the wingers have to tuck in here, which then means they can't join in the press. So if you are able to get it into Gravenberch, look at what he's got there.
The explanation that you gave earlier on before giving the solution, I felt like a proud dad listening to you because it just gives me flashbacks to exactly the problem against Galatasaray. Go back to the problem. Forget the solution. Go back to the problem. Just go back to the problem a little bit because I think even that's what Mike discussed on his stream. Go back to the issue. Yes, go back to where the whole thing was an issue, right? Just go back to it.
Problem is that.
Okay. Let me tell you the issue. I can't control what you're the board, right?
Just tell me and I'll move it for you.
Okay. Every time Mo got the ball, imagine Mo has the ball right now.
Mm-hmm.
Every time Mo gets the ball, bring Isak a bit closer to him. What are you doing? Yeah, the ball.
That's a
okay. Bring Isak a bit closer to him. Bring Wirtz a bit closer, like Wirtz closer a bit to Isak. This was what happened 90% of the Galatasaray game. This, by the way, both wings, copy paste. This was what happened. Mm-hmm. This is why, even when Mo came on, whatever it is, like with Frimpong or not, blah, 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 this was the issue. Every time Mo or Gakpo got this ball in this position, what Tom is showing on the pitch is exactly what happened in the game. So Mo would have to basically go all the way back to Konate or give the ball to Gravenberch and hope that Gravenberch gets past three people and plays a pass to the other side or something like this. So the problem with the issue is it's a structural issue in which my forward players that cost all that money can't even be put in a position to succeed. So Mo gets the ball here. Okay, forget, guys. Mohamed Salah is shit. Okay, he's shit. He's the worst player ever. Let's say Ronaldinho got the ball there. Let's say
he's not doing anything.
Yeah, let's say Hazard got the ball there. Neymar, some of the best dribblers ever. What happens then? What is gonna change? What is his options? Let me turn and try to just dribble past Cucurella. And if it doesn't work, khalas, Chelsea get the ball back anyway.
He'd probably be back here as well.
But wait.
That's the thing.
Hold on.
The thing.
But, Tom, can you go back to the original setup? Can you drag back Szoboszlai? Put Wirtz, Isak, Gakpo, Salah, leave Curtis, leave Gravenberch. Move Wirtz closer to Isak.
Yes.
Okay. When Ryan Gravenberch or Curtis Jones had the ball in that game, move Caicedo and Lavia in front of Wirtz. Like just side by side.
It'd be a compact one like that.
It essentially what I saw and what I've seen when we struggle is either Gravenberch or Jones will have the ball, and there is that much space between Curtis Jones and Cody Gakpo, Curtis Jones and Florian Wirtz, Curtis Jones and Isak. Sometimes I even see a straight line. So I will see, let's just rewind to last year. It would be Szoboszlai, Nunes, Salah, Gakpo. It would be all four of them pretty much in like a straight line, and none of them are moving, which means that Curtis Jones has to either play a line-breaking pass into one of them who's standing stationary, or he has to dribble through. My issue is that the way that you're designing the system is that Gravenberch, Jones, or Szoboszlai, or Wirtz has to beat a man and carry themselves into the second half. If you want to play this way, like for instance, I watched PSG yesterday, and people love to call us PSG light. So I was like, let me see what this comparison is.
Watching PSG yesterday, we're nothing like them.
We're nothing like them at all. Nothing like them.
Hold on. I'm not. I think it's a stupid comparison. But when I watch a team like that, what I see is constant movement off the ball. No one is ever standing still. No one is ever waiting. Right now, I think that the front four is waiting for the game to come to them. I think Wirtz is the only one who's trying to drop and bring the game to the front four. And he's looking bad because of it. He's looking bad because he's the only one. I feel
like that's because these guys aren't involved.
Yeah, but that again,
that's why I want Frimpong to start.
This is like, to me, I feel like Arne Slot is this season trying to build down the middle third. He's playing central football. And right now, where do we have our most successful attacks? We have them on transition and we have them in the wing. I went back and I rewatched every goal that we have scored. Ekitike against Bournemouth. It starts from the wing with an incisive pass. Yeah, sure. It bounces off the defender. It goes in the back of the net. If you look at Newcastle, starts on the wing, cuts inside, deflection, Ekitike, goal. Bournemouth's second goal starts on the wing, cuts inside. Cody Gakpo dribbles past 4 players, goal. Rio Engamoa. That's probably our only team goal this whole season through sustained possession, and it was with 10 men. Every man touched the ball, went down the wing, cross, extra man isn't there, goal. To me, our strength is wide, and right now we are trying to play through the middle, and we're trying to play through the middle without being compact. It's the same issue I had when Jurgen was trying to play possession ball. There's too much.
Can I just show you guys an example quickly, and we'll come back to this board, because this is I keep referring to the Atletico game as the benchmark. I won't play the goal, but I just want to show you the second goal, just for people to be reminded a little bit. Of course, we can't play to the audio. This was just before the goal happened, and this was something I was gonna go back today. Look at how amazing the positioning of the players are on this pitch right here. Look, just look at it. Look how everyone is in such an offensive area, where even, by the way, Atletico Madrid in this case are also doing low block from hell. Look where every Atletico player is. So I wish you guys can see the fucking mouse. You can't, but anyway, you see the back four of Atletico right there. You see their
that's not the back four, Husam. By the way, that's the back 5, because that's Giovanni Simeone at the bottom of your screen there.
Every single Madrid player on the pitch is in frame.
Exactly. The left wing back, you got the 2 midfielders, the third one in Conor Gallagher helping on that side. You see? But look at the positioning of the Liverpool players. Wirtz and Isak next to each other, Gravenberg right behind them, Szoboszlai there, Robertson high up the pitch, and now watch how this goal happens. Like, obviously, I'm going to have to play it like in a certain style just so we don't get copyright infringement. Watch here. Watch for me. The most interesting part is where Frimpong is, where Wirtz is, where Isak is, and where Gakpo is. That is offensive football.
But do you see how compact we are? Like, do you see how tight everyone is? There's an option here. I just, if you want to put my screen of the specific moment,
here you go. Because we got Monday Night Football here.
Look, this is what I see right now. The last 2 games when we get into a dangerous position, Ekitike had the ball before this. Ekitike passes it back. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 Galatasaray players in their box. Curtis Jones, I'm not going to play it because I don't want any copyright and I don't want to mess that up. Curtis Jones this whole time standing dead still. Kirkes standing dead still. Gakpo in an offside position, and Wirtz is right here waiting to receive the ball. Even if Wirtz gets the ball, which he does, what is he supposed to do here? What like to me, it's so stagnant. Do
you remember how that chance came about, Mike, or this phase of play came about, Mike? Was it a transition? Was it transition where like we broke through the press and then
it starts here. Wirtz goes wide. It comes back to him.
Well, even if you go back ever so slightly, just so where we have a slightly wider angle there, like right at the start of the clip. No, right at the start of that clip that you just had. Skip this one. Right here, there. We got 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then Kirkes makes 8. They are very wide at the minute. That's what needs to be addressed. But we're still getting the bodies up there.
We also had success this game. Like, guys, before the Husam penalty, in transition, we were threatening. We didn't create any goals, but I was liking what I was seeing before Szoboszlai gave away that penalty. And then once he gave away the penalty, we just stopped playing football. Everyone just kind of stopped. Everyone sort of dealt with the atmosphere.
Threat hasn't faded. Our transition
just compare. Just look, right? When they say like spot the difference. Keep the picture up, Mike. Spot the difference. Watch us attacking v Atletico. Watch us attacking v Galatasaray. Watch the difference. Spot the difference. Do you see how mad, crazy the difference is?
Yeah, but so the element of this that I haven't heard anyone talk about, right, is that right now these last 2 games, Crystal Palace and Galatasaray, I felt like on the ball in possession, not transition. I think in transition we were good against Palace. We just didn't have many opportunities, and we were good against Galatasaray. But when we were in possession and we were slowing the game down, we're moving at a pace that I would categorize as 1 out of 10, right? So all 11 players on the pitch of Liverpool were moving at a 1 out of 10. The game is slow.
We've got no tempo building up.
Yeah. But just follow the logic for like 2 seconds. Liverpool's operating 1 out of 10. Alexis McAllister, Ryan Gravenberch, Dominic Szoboszlai, I don't care who it is. Someone gives up the ball in the opposing half. All of a sudden, the game goes to a 10 out of 10. Now, there's a complete injection of pace. We flip the game on its head, and they're coming at us. You're not going to look good. You're not going to be able to turn on a dime. Maybe you're going to stop that attack. Maybe you'll stop the second. But 4, 5, 6, 7, going from 1 to 10, you're inviting these mistakes. And when I look at the goals that we have conceded, almost all of them are because we turn the ball over sloppily in the opposing half and we get hit by a counter while we're playing slow. It's not like an end-to-end thing. It's not like, oh, we just did a counterattack on a corner and then we got caught out. Now we're going back the other way. No, it's Mo Salah has the ball on the wing. He tries to pass it into Szoboszlai. Szoboszlai tries to flick it onto somebody else. We're playing slow. We turn it over. Semenyo's running 100 miles an hour down the other end of the wing. Andrew Robertson can't possibly keep up with him. I just think that we're inviting pressure by slowing the game down. And when we make the mistake, it's sort of what's it called? It compounds, if that makes sense, because the pace becomes so quick and we can't handle it. Maybe my analysis is a little bit off, but I just think that
no, it's not. Even further to prove your point, the second goal against Everton. Once again, positioning on the pitch. Just look at the position. This is the thing for me. Like, people act like what they're saying is rocket science. Just look at the positioning on the pitch. Just look at it. Look at it here. Look at the difference. Like, people will say, yeah, but Everton played this is not considered high line in football. This is not considered like Everton taking a risk. But look at the positioning of the players. McAllister, Szoboszlai ready to run on the counter-attack. Salah maintaining width. Gakpo running into the penalty box.
He has 4 options.
Look, thank you, Mike. Look how many options Gravenberch has here. He can play it into McAllister, who's making a run. He can play it in behind to Ekitike. He can even go and over the top ball into Gakpo. You look at the first goal as well. Yes, you look at the first goal as well. That's another one that I wanted to share with you guys. Hold on. Look at the positioning for the first goal. Watch this.
Do you know what the first goal shows as well, though, Husam?
Look at the options. Look.
The first goal shows how the inverted run of the fullback works. So you have it both ways. If you think that it's best to get Salah closer to goal in the game, it's Frimpong, which is what we need to do against Atletico. I like the inverted run of the fullback. I know that you're not fully sold on it. I like it because what it does is you see Grealish, who would typically at this point have jumped onto Salah because he's ran back with an overlap. He has to follow it inside, which means Salah is just one-on-one with the fullback who's never going to jump in on him because Salah can skin him. So Salah's got all the time in the world to pick his pass. That was literally our entire attacking strategy last season. Give as many runs and as many underlaps to Salah so he has the space to basically quarterback and pick the pass he wants and pick the shot he wants.
And Cody Gakpo gets it too. He just ignores Kirkes. Cody Gakpo gets overlapped every game 10, 15 times. And that's why I don't like to harp on Kirkes. I didn't buy him to be a fucking brick wall at left back. I bought him to overlap Cody and create opportunities. But every time he does it, Cody cuts inside and then rockets one wide, or he tries to dribble past the player, or it deflects and Ekitike finishes it with superb class. Like,
my biggest problem with Liverpool at the minute isn't even once we get into their half. Once we get into their half, I don't really have many gripes. I think that we should really move the ball quicker, but that we do move the ball quicker when we need to. My biggest gripe with us is when we are here off a goal kick or trying to build up out the back.
Look at all the space in the middle.
Because this is effectively what happens. And then Wirtz has to go up there.
And then if he gets the ball, where's he going to go?
Once Wirtz goes there, he has to go there with the ball in feet because these guys don't drop in. So it's how do you fix that? Because right now, our solution is pass, 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 pass. Oh shit, he's now marked.
This is why we get 90. This is why we get 90% pass accuracy.
Headed away. So it's about how do you counteract this? So our two centre-backs can't handle a one-man press because we've only got one good ball-playing centre-back. So they effectively wait for Van Dijk to pass it there and then go, in theory, run that lane. So Konate can't just pass it back. So they completely close that lane off, forcing Konate on the ball. How do you bypass that? Konate goes wider. Your fullbacks push up higher because what we have is fullbacks with engines who need to run. You don't have a fullback there who is going to be able to play the ball there, who's going to be able to play the ball there, who's going to be able to play the ball drilled in between the lines to your 10 who's in that spot. We have to stop playing to our players' weaknesses and start playing to their strengths.
Possession isn't the only way to counteract this, right? Like trying to figure out a different way. But we have found success in building up. It's not like every time we have tried to build up, it's just gone bad. That's just not true. But right now, the overwhelming majority of it, maybe like 70, 80%, it's slow, it's lethargic, it's complacent, especially in the last two games. Another way that you could circumnavigate this, right? And I had a gripe on this last season, but at this point, I would rather see that. You could go long. You could hope that Gakpo or Salah wins it. If they don't win it, you turtle back. You play. You basically play defense, and you hope to transition the opportunity. I feel like we're trying to control the game so much that we're not getting those transition opportunities. We're getting fewer and fewer of them per game because we're dominating the possession. We're playing slow football. And what we want to do to other teams is now happening to us. Like, yes, we could try to change the formation. We could get Kirkus more involved, which I don't know why you would buy Kirkus or Frimpong if you don't want them to be marauding fullbacks who are essentially outlets wide to create opportunities and through those wide channels. Or you can just go into a game saying, I don't need to have 70% of the ball. Like, genuinely, if we give Chelsea more of the ball away at Stamford Bridge, I'm banking on them to make a mistake more than I am on us to control possession at Stamford Bridge. With the way we have over the last two games, it's just, I don't think it's like a rocket science solution. And I can't
rule that out. I can't rule that out, but I also have to look at the insistence of the manager. So again, the manager is making mistakes. The manager is insisting on this form of build-up. I believe this is where he wants Liverpool to eventually transition into. We are always going to maintain our transition threat, but it's harder for us to get into transition against these teams. So it's about, okay, if they're limiting us in transition, how are we going to bypass that? Which is why, I mean, I'll be doing it with Callum Coppish tomorrow, and I'm sure that one will be a lot more angry and a lot more shouty. But it's why I'm insistent on something like this.
I actually like this stream. You've been very calm and like tactical.
I don't want to shout. Like I don't like doing that.
We can't handle pressing.
You want to know? Let me just point out the importance of McAllister. Let me just show you. This is the final example I'm going to bring up. Then after that, khalas, we can go back to the board till the end of the stream. I just want to bring up one thing because this is where, for me, when I say start McAllister, I understand he's out of form. I understand he's been dreadful this season. I just want to show you one example. This is my problem with the Liverpool midfielders. Tom has already acknowledged it in his explanation. I don't know if Mike agrees or not, so I will not speak for him. We all agree, Arsenal, very tough team to break down, very defensively solid, right? Here for me is the most dangerous chance we created against Arsenal. This moment,
is it the Wirtz one?
Yes. First of all, once again, this goes back to the point that all three of us made all stream. Positioning of all the forward line players, perfect.
Look at them.
5 players in the box, perfect positioning. Everyone is an offensive threat. Here's the thing now. This is my issue with the Liverpool midfielders, and I'm gonna be completely honest about this. I'm not even bullshitting. Alexis McAllister is the only one that makes this pass in our midfield.
Consistently,
and that's an issue that we have.
You want to know who? Yes.
Consistently. You want to know who would have made this pass consistently for us? Adam Wharton. That's another one that could have made this pass consistently for us. Now, this was the most dangerous chance of the whole half. Now, someone might say, Husam, it's just a simple pass. Yes, on paper, it's a simple pass to make. But can I guarantee if Gravenberch or Szoboszlai had the ball in that position that they make that pass? The answer to that question, honestly, is a no. No agenda, no bullshit. Now, McAllister makes that pass. Florian Wirtz here, unbelievable control, good shot as well, and was saved by Raya. Once again, despite the fact that Gakpo is offside and Ektik is offside, they're all in a position to be able to pounce. Now, you compare that to the Mike Still image. Look at this shit. Look how different it is to what I just showed you against a way tougher opponent. That's why when myself, Tom, keep speaking about the structural issue and Mike keep talking about the structural and the tactical issue, we're not making it up. It's a reality. There is a problem in terms of like the way everyone is just standing on the pitch. We're not standing in a pitch in a position that's putting us in a place where I can create chances, where I can dominate. That's the problem.
Waiting. We're just.
I also think
and
so.
this is why,
there's a
and this is the
slight
final
thing
point
with
I'll say, and then I'll hand you both the mic. First of all, guys, we have 750 people in here. It's genuinely an elite conversation. I've enjoyed it so much. Please get the likes up, guys. It's such a great conversation. Please close the live chat, hit the like button. And yes, Mike does have a channel. People in the chat didn't know that. It's in the description. And Tom Little's channel is in the description. I know you guys have enjoyed it as well. A lot of you have said it in the chat. So just close the live chat and hit the like button so it helps push this channel further. Now, here's my thing. This is why, for me, Tom, alluding to my earlier point, I think it is critical in this game to play Frimpong right back. And when I say the word critical, I'm not even exaggerating. Because
you have to.
I need that overlap option for Mo. I just need it. And listen, you talk about like, McAllister is your favorite midfielder, Sam. No problem. Drop him. Play Curtis Jones if you feel more confident. No problem. This is not a matter of like, who does Husam prefer? This is a matter of like, how do we put ourselves in a position where we do beat Chelsea? And I think Frimpong's existence in this team is very necessary, because we go back to the stuff that Tom did 30 minutes ago. If I give Mo the ball and his only option is give it back to Konate or give it to Wirtz and Isak and pray that they do something, that's not really a conducive style to beat Chelsea.
You don't.
I'm on the other side of it, Husam. I think you need an underlapper from right back for this game on the basis of, if you look at the matchup here, if Salah's getting an overlap, Salah goes in there. At this point, Salah's not your chief creator.
Salah needs more width so that he can get more space, so that he can create
what Salah needs to do. Just because I'm looking at Lavia and Caicedo, because in the stream today with the Chelsea boys, they said that would be the starting pivot. Okay, so we'll go on that basis. Wirtz isn't going to get much joy. He's not going to get much joy anyway, because they're two very good defensive midfielders. So if I'm putting Salah there, I'm also not going to get much joy. They can just go man to man, trust both centre backs on Isak, and then what you're looking for is Cucurella on Frimpong. Cucurella will win that battle. What I want to do is instead have Salah stay very wide. Cucurella's then not going to man mark him because all that space. Both centre backs, especially because one of them is very young and the other one's not very good, they're going to be very wary of Isak in this pocket. What this also does then is it commits a DM on the run. So Nesta will run back. So let's just use Szoboszlai Bradley. They make this run here. Caicedo picks him up. What has suddenly opened up there? The thing Florian Wirtz needs. Or it might not be the thing Florian Wirtz needs. It's the thing that Salah needs to come inside. And then what have you got? You've got Gakpo at the back post. You've got Isak there. You'll have Florian Wirtz on the edge of the box or in that pocket. So if it falls, he's there for the rebound. I don't think putting him centrally this game, in terms of having an overlap around him, is going to get the best out of him, because you're just going to push him into an area which is going to be congested already. You want him to isolate someone one-on-one.
Szoboszlai cannot play right back this game. If you want the underlap, then Connor Bradley is going to be the better.
It just either
personal opinion. Frimpong is there to overlap. Connor Bradley's there to underlap. Connor Bradley looks much better inside than Frimpong does. Frimpong looks much better outside. Personally, I think that there's only two ways to approach this game. It's either we're going to play long ball and we're going to isolate Badiashile or Achimpong, who have been poor in the air and they make mistakes over and over again. Gakpo will have an aerial advantage and Salah maybe try to isolate him. Or I do lean more towards what Tom is saying. We can build up from the back, but we have to use width. We have to use width. We need to create isolating moments for Salah with support, or isolating moments for Gakpo with support, and they need to actually use the guys who are underlapping. That way, Isak can stay in the middle because he's going to be the aerial threat, and Chelsea are so poor in the air. If there was ever a game to spam crosses, it's this game. If there was ever a game to just get wide, spam it into the middle of the box, it's against this center back pairing. I just don't want to see, which is what I'm expecting to see, us try to build up and progress through the middle. Because It hasn't worked for 2 games. And my fear is that Arne Slot's going to find himself in a position where it's like, I could change up, or I could continue on and it'll work this time. And I just don't think that it's going to work this time. And I think that's the sort of mindset that he's in. And when I hear him after in the press, like I think the real thing that's pissed me off over the past 2 games is watching these post-match pressers, because I never do.
I don't put myself through them.
Yeah. The one after Crystal Palace was like listening to Mikel Arteta, putting up the one finger, talking about set pieces. And then the one after Galatasaray, he had the gall to say that the ball was barely in play in the second half, as if that would have made a difference, as if the ball being in play more would have changed anything other than Galatasaray scoring another goal, because we were never scoring a goal there.
They were closer to scoring the second. That's the truth.
Yeah, well, Alisson still had to make saves. Mamardashvili had to make 2 saves, and one of them
Alisson saved the one-on-one from Osimhen before he got injured, literally.
Yeah, well, as he got injured. It's just, to me, this team has very clear errors that happen in the middle. When you look at United, that first goal that sent off Robert Sanchez, Sesko winning a header that he has no business winning, leading to a one-on-one for Mbeumo. Robert Sanchez gets he ends up getting sent off. That's the kind of play that you have to do. Long, direct, and wide. But, you know, I don't think that Florian Wirtz is going to be that like marauder in the middle that just picks up the ball, makes a turn, and just eats up space after dribbling past 2 guys.
No, it kills him. It kills him.
Gravenberch can do it.
Even do it.
Exactly. Gravenberch can do it, but he also needs a little bit of space. Like, and not to mention, personally, I think that Gravenberch likes to be on either side of the pitch, the right side. You more often than not, you see him on.
He likes to sit here and then drive into
then,
that area.
Exactly. Or it's the opposite. He'll do it on the other end, but it's never in the middle, right? Curtis Jones likes to drop deep, and he likes to look wide, and he likes to play a 1-2 with Kirkes or a 1-2 with Frimpong. To me, fullbacks have to be essential, width has to be essential, and Isak has to stay in the middle. Like, at least just for this game. But personally, like, I would rather see us just show up to Stamford Bridge, try to play direct, give Chelsea more of the ball, let them make mistakes. Because if we're facing a team that has sustained possession, like, I back us defensively. I think that out of transition, we're very good defensively. Like when it's sustained pressure,
where I think we're best, Mike? Do you want to know the type of opposition I think we're best against? And it was something we were never good at against under Jurgen Klopp. When a team goes man to man on us, when a team goes man to man on us, we're very good, because I think the manager said it himself. The moment a team goes man to man, it's just about individuals, and what we have is a lot of very good individuals. So we almost want to be forcing teams to go man to man. The last 2 teams we played have their set defensive structure. When it's on us to break it down, we're struggling with it. For me, I look at it like this. We can go through how you would set us up for Saturday. For me, I think whether that's Jones or McAllister, again, I don't really care.
Doesn't matter. I agree. It doesn't matter, bro. Like,
he needs to come
it's just
here.
about the idea.
I don't think that personnel is going to make a difference, personally.
In possession, we need to form something along the lines of this or this, either way you want to run that. So
Wirtz and Isak need to be in 1-2 opportunities the whole game.
Yeah, we need triangles, but we need them wide.
So what this is doing is this is creating a 3-on-2 in the press. So typically what we do is you'd have it like this, and these 2 can just screen passes into the DMs and stop us from ever breaking the lines. So by adding that third one there, yes, you lose a pivot guy, but what you get is they now can't screen. If he stays and tries to screen, all of a sudden, I've always got the man free. If they're just constantly shuttling, there will eventually be a moment where the gap opens up. Ideally, you want it to be when it's on this side, and you can punch the ball here where there's space. Now, to counteract that, Chelsea might either bring these 2 narrower, which then just gives you all the open expanse out wide, which is where we've all agreed we're better wide creators, and it gives them the space to drive into, or, which I think would be a more likely solution, one of the pivots has to jump up and close Gravenberch down when he turns. But what that does, I've even got all these shapes for it. We got space now. We got the space there.
But that's the space where I want Wirtz to be, not Isak. I need Isak to be in between Badishil and Achimpong, making them shit themselves the whole game.
Yeah, but that's the point. So with him there, what this is now doing is putting Wirtz. What this is now doing is putting Wirtz in a one-on-one with Romeo Lavia or Caicedo. It could be Lavia jumps and Caicedo, whatever. I back Wirtz one-on-one against a DM. Your fullbacks at this point are one's underlapping.
But you see, Tom, that's why I don't want Szoboszlai, man. That's literally why I don't want Szoboszlai.
No,
I think me and Mike are in complete agreement on this. I do not want Szoboszlai right back. I just don't.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I'm telling you right now, I'm willing to put money on it. It's gonna be Szoboszlai and Gravenberch, and it's gonna be the same lineup that we had against Arsenal. Szoboszlai, Gravenberch, and then I'm assuming it's gonna be Connor Bradley, and then Mohamed Salah, and it'll be Kirkez, and it'll be Cody Gakpo. I could maybe see Robertson coming into this game just for like the...
I'm willing to bet that Szoboszlai plays right back. If I go based off what Slot does.
I don't think after that performance and after how much he was targeted and how much success Galatasaray had and the fact that Chelsea's attackers are faster and they're better, I don't see how you could. I mean, if he does, then that's just absolute insanity.
But you know what you see here with this? Exactly what we were talking about before. Look at the numbers we've got forwards now. We've dragged their wingers back, which is a big thing. So their transition threat, which we've been struggling with in the last games, is where they can almost cheat a little bit and have them sitting there. They win it back, one long ball, and they are one-on-one or in these positions against the defender one-on-one, which is not where you want to be. If we're able to actually push our fullbacks forward and have them involved in phases of play, it brings these guys back. And what have we got here? We are in exactly what we want to be. The ball, Gravenberch turns. Let's just say in this situation, Lavia's not quick enough. Gravenberch turns. All of a sudden, we've now got so many options. If you want to, fire it into Isak, you can fire it into Isak. Bradley's making that run there, which will drag Neto, which then means maybe Sal can get on the ball there, which is where you want him to be. I just think that we struggle against breaking a press early on. We take too long. Teams get a bit of, we've all played fussy. When a team starts to pass around the back for so long, and then there's a loose touch, or there's a moment where it's not quick enough, you go, fucking hell, they don't want it, boys. They don't want it. And then you speed it up. And then it turns out our players don't want it. They actually don't want it. Kerkez doesn't want it. Frimpong doesn't want it. Bradley doesn't want it. Canati doesn't want it. This means that unless a team, so if I go back to what it looks like in build-up, unless a team, because this is the other side of it, which I was supposed to mention and forgot to. So as I said, you can build up like that, where it's a 3-on-2, and then Gravenberch sits in this pocket here. Now, the other thing they could do is go man to man, like that, where they're all... didn't even mean that. Where they're all set up there, but again, we've got the free man. It's about getting the free man. What we're not doing at the minute is getting the free man. We don't have a free man. Now, you should, if you have a team of people that are confident on the ball in terms of their passing, you don't need a free man, because that guy who's confident on the ball and passing can pass out of a tight press. Whereas what we don't have is that. Well, if I ask all of you, what's Kerkez's best attribute?
Probably athleticism, if anything.
Athleticism and driving with the ball up the line. What's Conor Bradley's best attribute?
Probably.
The same thing, just inside, not outside.
What's Frimpong's best attribute?
Same thing, but outside.
What's Gravenberch's best attribute?
Driving with the football and his tackling.
Gravenberch's attribute, driving with the football.
Yeah.
What's Szoboszlai's best attribute?
Athleticism.
Free kicks
And
and driving with the football. So once again, all I've got there is...
But that's why I need a Jones or McAllister to offset that.
But Tom, so what you're saying is true. But my issue is that we have been able to find the extra man, right? Like, let's just say, for instance, Ryan Gravenberch was the extra man, and now he has space to drive into. My issue is that when Ryan Gravenberch is driving into space, all four players in front of him are all moving forward, right? So Ryan Gravenberch picks up the ball in our own half, and rather than trying to come back and create a triangle, I'm not saying to be a false nine, but I'm just saying, rather than trying to compact the attack to create a triangle to then open up space for someone else, everyone's just moving with the ball. So let's say Wirtz is where the line is, and Gravenberch has the ball. Gravenberch is moving forward, but Wirtz and everyone else is moving forward with him. No one is staying to present themselves as an option. Like, my issue is that our off-ball movement, when we do find some space, has been exceptionally poor because I don't see it. Like, I spent probably 70 minutes of the Crystal Palace game not watching the ball. And I probably spent the whole Galatasaray because I was so angry watching everyone who didn't have the ball. And to me, all I saw was players who were moving with the ball and not creating an opportunity for themselves, essentially waiting for the game to come to them. Whereas when we look at Atletico Madrid, or we look at the Everton screenshots, or we look at the Newcastle, or we look at Bournemouth, guys were finding areas in order to create an opportunity. They were, rather than waiting for the game to come to them, they went to somewhere to make the game, to bring themselves to the game, if that kind of makes sense, for lack of a better metaphor. I just think that if we can fix up the way that people move who aren't controlling the ball, we can solve all of these problems, regardless of formation, regardless of whether you want to go man-to-man, regardless of whether or not Curtis Jones starts. If guys are presenting themselves as options,
I always feel like
movement,
that's a byproduct, though. I feel like that's a byproduct of some of the attacking. So, you know the saying, too many cooks in the kitchen spoils the broth? If some of them things you were showing earlier had, just for example, ignore the names, but we all know what we saw.
Yeah, it would be 4 guys standing still at the box, all standing still.
I'm going to the Arsenal one here. The Arsenal one, the Wirtz chance. I don't know if Husam's still got the screenshot. But
yeah,
we
but I still think that Wirtz wasn't even in the right position. But
we were effectively like this, and then you had everyone else here for Arsenal. You had him there.
Yeah,
he was back there,
and it was just McAllister.
But just look at the state of that. No amount of movement's going to fix that. If Gakpo drops into this space, he's jumped. If it gets fired in to Isak, he's swarmed, because you almost have too many people in the box to where there isn't space to move anyway. I feel like a better setup is to limit people in the box to 3 or 4 instead of 5 or 6. Almost have it so you have a perimeter around the box. So let's just say, for example, we're attacking down the right. Salah's not entering the box. Bradley's there. Salah's got the ball. Your box should look something like Badiashile, like Achimpong, that. He'd be there with Kerkez. He'd be up there. He'd be there. Cucurella would be somewhere there trying to stick with him. But you notice now how there's space. So what can happen now is the moment Salah drives with the ball, Isak could go there. And then what does that do? Creates space there for him to make the run, and then the pass can find him. When you have too many people in the box, there is no space. Everything gets too congested. And unless you have a worldy touch like Florian Wirtz did in the Arsenal game, which takes 2 guys out because it throws the momentum off, you will just end up with the situation where you're kicking the ball into them. And when we're caught in situations where it is, again, I'll just line the box with however many people were there. I'll be back there type thing. The moment you lose the ball, you give it away in like someone tries a pass or someone tries a cross, it's given away.
By the way, thank God the lap is not playing. Me and Tom agreed on this earlier.
But the moment you give it away,
I would trust this team way more against Joao Pedro than I would against the lap.
Mm-hmm. But the moment you give it away, so let's just say Salah tries a cross and come off, gives away. Because we pushed everyone so far at the pitch, but then left in a fucking 5-on-4 with midfielders who can't keep up with wingers. Our wing-backs then, who've already busted the gut to get up there, have to bust the gut to get all the way back against wingers who've already had the head start and already waiting for the counter-attack. They've won it back. They've booted it long. And you're suddenly in a situation...
This is why I don't want to play possession ball against Chelsea, though. This is why I don't want to try to do the same thing.
It's not about the possession that's the problem. It's about the lack of decisiveness in the final third.
Yeah, fact.
I think it was something I said on the first game when we
have better midfielders than them, by the way. Like this whole possession ball.
Yeah, yes, Salah should have shot it.
But it was after the Bournemouth game.
Caicedo's not that good of a passer. Lavia is complete, I'll give you that. Enzo's a good passer of the football. But I think we can target these 3 as well. Like this whole this whole concept. I think the Chelsea midfield is more of a like scary thing built by the Chelsea fans themselves more than like an actual reality.
No, we're
Because
our
we've
own
seen
worst
Brighton
enemy.
walk through this midfield.
We're our own worst enemy, Husam. So after the Bournemouth game, Arnie Slot said Carragher was with him, and this caused the whole fucking shit show on Twitter. Carragher said, "Why have we got 8 people in the box in the 67th minute when we're 2-0 up?" And Arnie Slot goes, "That's the way we are." But then he says the problem with it isn't necessarily having 8 people in and around the box. The problem is giving the ball away when you have 8 people in the box. He would rather someone tried something spectacular, i.e. in this situation where you've got 7-8 people in the box, Salah, instead of trying to play it to Gravenberch, to play it to Jones, to play it to Kirkes to work an opening, if Salah just got it here and shot, but instead of it going in the back of the net, it went like that. Oh, well, shit happens. Back to the defensive shape. Fullbacks get back into shape. Wingers go back out wide. Shape's suddenly secure. And all of a sudden, you're not getting killed on transition. The problem is, when you're not doing that, so the second goal came from, imagine this is Szoboszlai. Salah and Szoboszlai combining. Gomez was up here. And we were man-to-man at the back because Curtis Jones was here and Gakpo was here. And they had winger, and then it was almost like that. Salah lays it off to Szoboszlai. Szoboszlai tries a stupid flick, doesn't come off, and all of a sudden he wins it back, and you're in a 4-on-3 because we lost the ball in a bad position. I would rather us in this case, even a cross is better than what we're doing, trying to find you around on the edge of the box to create the perfect opening to slice through teams with, especially when it's falling to a guy who isn't a good passer like that. When it's fallen to a Szoboszlai or when it's fallen to a Gravenberch, I don't want us to be fanning around with it on the edge of the box because what will happen is we will lose it and we'll be caught in 4-on-3s or 3-on-2s because we've chucked so many men forwards. When it goes to certain players in and around the edge of the box, they need to be decisive. They need to be selfish almost and go, I could lay it off and we could do the whole build-up again, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on me. I'm going to put a cross in. I'm going to beat a man and shoot. I'm going to work an angle and lay it off. I'm going to do what I need to do rather than what we end up doing, which is filling the box with 3 or 4 people who aren't moving round, and we just end up playing effectively this.
It also leaves
to pass, giving away, counter-attack, fuck.
But when guys become... So I think it's like a double-edged sword, right? I think that number one, Arnie wants to control. Oh, I'm not going to use the word control because Tom doesn't like that. He doesn't like that word. But we're holding possession. Control. We're holding possession and we're constantly recycling, right? Because we're looking for the perfect opening. We're recycling, horseshoe of death. You got it. U-ball, I like to call it. We're just making a giant U, and then one of those passes, it goes awry, and then it turns to a transition. If we got more decisive, and rather than deciding to recycle it, Mohamed Salah just dinks one in, and hopefully it finds the head of Alexander Isak. And if it doesn't, whatever. At least at that point, they gain possession, whether it's via a goal kick, retaining possession, or whatever. I don't care. Free kick doesn't matter. Now they have the ball. Now they can have possession. Now they can attack us. So like when I was talking about before, we don't need to hold 65, 70% possession in these games. If you take these more, let's just say risks. If you take more risks, you're going to give them the ball. If you give them the ball, we're not going to see the horseshoe of death. If we don't see the horseshoe of death, I'm not going to see Alexis McAllister, Mohamed Salah, Dominic Szoboszlai, Connor Bradley, or whoever has given away the ball in the opposing half, give away the ball because they now have the ball. I can't turn it over at this point. Maybe I'm sounding loopy here, but to me, it's just if we were more direct and we were more risk-taking, we'll either create opportunities or they'll have to take it from their byline and cut.
That's the risk I'm willing to take as long as we do create the chances, though.
Exactly, and I'm
a willing risk taker, but
I don't want to see us recycle for 60 minutes because that's basically what the last two games have been.
I also think as well, though, a reason that we've lost a lot of the transition attacks that we had was our press isn't good anymore.
Yeah,
our frontline press
it's a lot more individual press, not team press anymore.
we're trying to press with 4 people. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
Teams are building up with 5 or 6. You're always going to be outnumbered. So what ends up happening is they pass through the press, and then 4 guys are completely out the game, and they've then got a bit of confidence in how they're playing, or they go over the top. Go look at the Palace game. They broke us down every way because our press was shit. When you're committing 4 guys to a press, it doesn't work. You have to press with at least 5. You have to press with at least 5, and you need to press with intensity. Now, I know that Salah won't press with intensity, so other guys need to pick up that slack for it. But they also need to press in a better structure.
Well, that's why Szoboszlai needs to be in midfield, because he's probably our best presser of the ball, not at right back.
He is our best presser of the ball, but I also think it's a case of we're going to have to figure out how it works without Dominic Szoboszlai, or we're going to hit a ceiling as a football team. We will hit a ceiling as a football team if we cannot afford to take Dominic Szoboszlai out of the team at points. That's the cold hard fact of the matter, because he's a fantastic engine. I have a lot of love for him as a footballer, but he's not the technical midfielder that Liverpool need.
He's not. And that's why we might need to dip into the market again. Anyway, I think this was one of the best streams ever we've done on this channel. I think this was just like, the next super chat mentions that big up funds.
Sorry, can I just address Eric? So, Eric, you're saying press man to man. The problem with man to man is you have to win your individual duels. And right now we have too many people making silly mistakes to comfortably rely on a man-to-man press. A man-to-man press also relies on everyone being effective pressers. We don't have a full team of effective pressers. If I was managing and Liverpool were going man-to-man against me, I'm going, right, who's Salah pressing? Okay, give it to him constantly, because Salah won't be there straight away. So what you've got then is a second or 2 seconds to figure out your next move. Who else doesn't necessarily press intensely? Well, Isak's not the greatest intense presser. Perfect, we'll go to him. Who else? Milos Kerkez and Conor Bradley are very rash and can get bookings quite easily if you turn them, because they stick an arm or they stick a leg out. So what we'll do is we'll play around Isak and Salah's guys. That'll then eventually bring someone else into it, which will then open the lane to feed it into the guys who are one-on-one against the wing-backs. We will do that 5 times. They'll get the ball back 3 times. They'll turn them twice. They're on a booking with 70 minutes to go. They now can't be as aggressive in a man-to-man.
Man won't work, because the spaces that we will leave will just destroy us, to be honest with you. Because
man-to-man only works at home. And when you're
they have a lot of athleticism as well, which will punish us. Big up to all of you guys. Like I said, I think this has been an all-timer stream. I'm going to go record my preview with Matisse as well in 5 minutes. So my preview with Matisse is going to be my 7th live stream, but it's going to be dropping as a pre-record tomorrow in the morning. So I really did enjoy the stream. I think the audience enjoyed it as well. It was a great conversation. We kind of just had a real ball talk. You get me? And maybe we could do this a bit more. Mike has asked to get some of Lex's blood tomorrow, so I've asked Lex for the stream. I'm sure I'll see Mike as well tomorrow.
I did not. We'll see. I'm negative though, guys. I'm negative.
Cook his ass tomorrow. Anyway, big up to all of you guys. Get the likes up and subscribe. Let me just grab these super chats for a wrap up the stream. After TNT interview, isn't Slot overthinking rotation?
Yes and no. Yes and no.
He's very upset. He's very conscious of it at the minute because of how last season went. But I don't think he's overthinking it, because I didn't necessarily disagree with his lineup in many games. I don't think he's rotating like unnecessarily. I had no problem with Salah not starting against Galatasaray.
Now people know he's not the problem.
Well, I mean, I also, just to be honest, I was happy. I even texted Husam. I was like, thank God he dropped Salah, because I thought that Salah was putting up stinkers. But what he has proved with this rotation, which is my issue is not keeping players healthy, keeping players fit. My issue is that when you rotate, you aren't adapting the way that you're playing, right? We saw rotation against Southampton and against Galatasaray, and I saw the same garbage possession football in both games with 2 completely separate lineups. So you are rotating, but you're not adjusting to the fact that you're rotating. I can't believe I have to give props to Oliver Glasner, but at least the guy has the balls to come out and say, I'm going to base the way I play this game on who I'm putting out there. And right now, over these last 3 games, I don't think Slot is doing that.
Yeah,
and I
he
think
hasn't.
that is the problem.
Big up to Fonzie says, this has been a great conversation about our football. No screaming about 008 or how Isak is shit. It's refreshing to not listen to nonsense. Big up. Yeah, bro, listen, I've already done
That's
that with the
supposed to be
rivals
me?
all day. It's listen to the rivals all day.
Look at his profile picture.
Isak. No, that is you, yes. Wirtz,
With the
Isak,
calculator?
Isak.
Yo,
Yeah,
Fonzie,
Wirtz.
come on, guy.
He paid 50 cents for that picture. You know, get me Wirtz, Isak. Khalas, today we had we broke it down. Agree with Mike. Big up to Javid. It says huge gap between front and back. Opposition sit back and see us piss about. Then one long ball over the top and we get done. Yeah, that's what I said as well after Galatasaray. One pass is all it takes. Like, obviously it was an angry moment, but it had like some truth to it, bro. Like all it takes is one passing behind and they create a chance. Are you serious?
That was
same exact thing. Crystal Palace too.
Exactly. Look, go back and watch every single counter by Crystal Palace. It was one man who carried the ball for 10 yards, made one pass, and we were done. And if it wasn't for Allison, it would have been an embarrassing 4-0 first half, and everyone would have lost their fucking shit on YouTube. There would have been catastrophic biblical crash outs by everyone. But because it ended 2-1 on a last-minute goal, for some reason we decided to view it a little bit differently. It's just a loss, but we're gonna figure it out. We just need time.
Yeah, I agree with you there. And last but not least, big up Nafisa. Thank you, my girl Nafisa. She says, big up the panel and everyone hit the likes and subscribe. Make sure you guys are listening to her and hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you're ready to do so. I think this is very enjoyable. I'm going to go join the studio with Matisse now to go record my preview with him. Is going to be dropping tomorrow in the noon time or in the afternoon, inshallah. You get me? So big up to all of you guys. Thanks to Mike and Tom. Both their links are in the description. Love you all, and I'm going to see you guys tomorrow, inshallah. Peace out.